Hey everybody, welcome back to Outlaws Dies, and in this episode I want to show you a brief mix and match of our wave series of dies. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in, and I'm going to show you the 3 sets of dies that we have in our wave series. Okay, one is beach waves. One is radio waves, and one is serenity waves. Okay, and I'm going to show you each of these pieces and how they cut. And I want you to keep in mind what I went ahead and did is I just took a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and I cut it into 3 equal parts at 4 inches, and it gave me 3 strips of 4 by 12. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you, this is radio waves. So one of the first dies of radio waves, what it does is it cuts this wonderful, really wonky, really exaggerated wave. Okay, this is a great one if you want to have for snow, for hills, for mountain backgrounds. It's a really fun one to use. Okay, it just gives you a really nice, really extreme wave. The second one in that series is a very gentle wave, and that is just a half wave that goes high on one side, low on the other. Really simple, basic, to the point. Okay, and the third one in the series is this guy, and what this one does is a very even wave, high, low, high, low, high, low, but it's really very symmetrical as compared to this one, which is just asymmetrical and kind of all over the place. Okay, so this was one of our first series that we came out with. And the fun thing about the wave series is that you can mix and match any of those in the series. And I'll show you that as we go along once I show you the different dies. Okay, and keep in mind when you're using our die systems, when you're die cutting, what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to lay that die down the center of that strip of paper so that you get 2 equal pieces so that these pieces can be used together, okay, or apart or however. And if you have double-sided paper, it's really good because then you can flip it and use the other side and do whatever you want design-wise with that, okay? So you want to get these 2 separate pieces when you're working so that you can get 2 different, like, I'm gonna call it a positive and a negative, but it's really not. It's a top side and a bottom side. So you'll hear me kind of talk about it in both ways. Okay, so again, this is radio waves. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is beach waves. This was the second in our series. And beach waves has one that looks a lot like the radio waves in that it is really asymmetrical. It's very drastic, has lots of curves, lots of really ribbony things to it. You're going to ask yourself what on earth this has to do with beaches. And I'm going to tell you, if you take just one of the pieces and you were to lay it down on your layout, the waves create a look that if you were looking down on a beach, you would see the waves crashing in this way. Not looking as a horizon, but looking as a 100% bird's eye view going down. That's what this was designed for. Okay, so you'll kind of see that. Okay, the second one is a lot like the middle one of radio waves, except it's very asymmetrical and the rises and the high and low points are different. They're not symmetrical to each other. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one is just a very small, more gradual type of wave. Now these 2 would be if you were viewing it from the horizon or from the down. They work both ways. The whole series is designed to layer on top of itself so that you can create the look of a beach wave were these in other opposite colors. Okay, now again, I will show you how these all layer together here shortly. Come on. Okay, so that is Beach Waves. And the next one here is Serenity Waves. This is the newest in our line. Okay. Again, this one's kind of gentle. It has a real even and gentle slope to them. They're just different views, different hills, different... we came out with this one with Christmas in kind of our mindset. So we were thinking like little snow hills or, you know, winter peaks, those types of things. But again, this is our wave series. It's just a generic wave that can be used in any fashion. Okay. Now, I didn't ink any of these edges, so you're probably, if I layer them on top of each other, you're not going to get as much depth and point of view, but I'll go ahead and ink one now so you can kind of see it. When you use these together on top of themselves, okay, if you ink your edge, you can really see, I'm going to take these two pieces out and I'll just use these two together, how they work together as a border and how they can create a lot of depth and dimension on your pages. You can use these dies with solid papers. You can use these dies with pattern papers. However you want to design, it is entirely up to you. Okay, so that's the depth that you're going to get. You're going to get just the kind of moving motion and everything of these die sets. And when you get both pieces, you get a positive and a negative, or a top and bottom, whichever way you want to call it. You can take that top piece, you can rotate it, or if it's a double-sided pattern paper, you can flip it, and then you can get a totally different look that way as well. So in this instance, if you flipped it, you would get just from one die in the set, you would get that look. Okay, kind of a mirror of itself. All right, or you could keep it on this regular side and then get a different hill combination. Okay, like so. All right, and again, you can mix and match all these different series to give yourself different looks and different pieces. And the fun thing about doing that is it creates a whole bunch of different looks that are just kind of fun to play around with and do different things. Okay, and one of the best ones and the best combinations that I like is actually Radio Waves with this piece, okay, and then Beach Waves with this piece. And what it does is it layers and it gives you kind of like a drippy goo. You can do it top to bottom, you can do it however way you like. And this, to me, reminds me of slime, ice cream cones, melting snow, you know, or a wave coming at you, or any number of different other things that I'm sure everybody else in this world can think of. But it's a fun combination to work with. And then you can add in other gentler slopes from other series and give yourself a different look. See it? So again, it's just a mix and match of bringing in different pieces, making it look cohesive, making it look different, changing it up, however you want to make your pieces look. Go ahead and if you have the different die sets, what I would do is I would just cut yourself exactly what I've done, use 3 sheets of colored cardstock, and just mix and match and play with them. And if you want, like what I've done is I've gone on the back and I've labeled, so like Serenity C, there's 3 pieces, so I labeled 1A, 1B, and 1C, and then I do the 2 parts, but I have them both labeled the same way. So like this is both Serenity C. Okay, and then you can just play with it however you want and see how the different combinations work together, work apart from each other, or whatever you want to do. In actuality, I did this one when I did it. I went cave splunking with a friend of mine, and I went ahead and did that at the top of my page and the bottom of my page, so it looks like we were traversing through a cavern. It was really cool. I'll put that page up on our forum, and you can see how that turned out. So again, just take your pieces and just mix and match and play around and add and take away and add and take away. You can put as many layers as you want together. You can put just single layers together. It's entirely up to you. You can add single strips in the middle to give yourself diversity. However you want to do these. You can do them on the horizon. You can do them on the vertical. You can do them both up and down and create a different look, and then maybe put a strip here. You can do, the sky is the limit with these sets. You can just keep adding dimension, keep taking away, whatever you want to do, however you want to make your piece look. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope that you get involved with our series. And this, again, this is our wave series, and this series is going to continue to build throughout our line with Outlaws Dies. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy, and thanks for being part of Outlaws Dies.